Yo, what's up everyone? This is Psalms Lawbook. My name is Jerry.
This is Chris.
And today I am bringing you the best Crusadia deck profile ever. Why is it the best, you may ask? Because it has Mekk Knights in it. And what do Mekk Knights do? Make Crusadias better.
Well, I guess that's right. I mean, we'll get to see when you go through this deck profile right now.
Yep, let's go through it. Alright, to start off we have Crusadia Maximus.
Ooh, I really like this guy's artwork.
Yeah, very shiny.
Looks really cool. I like the way his swords over is.
Yep, so you run 3 of him because, one, you want to see as many Crusaders in your hand as possible. And also because when he special summons to the field, it has to be in defense though, he gets to choose one link monster on your side of the field, and when it attacks another monster, its attack gets doubled.
What?
Yeah.
So even, is it if the link monster is pointing to him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So this guy, he can make OTKs happen.
OTK combos.
Wow. Okay. Crusadia Mekk Knight, Crusadia Maximus, or Crusadia Maximus.
Crusadia Maximus.
Okay.
And now, for your recursion card, we got Crusadia Draco. Anyway, when you special summon him to where a link monster is pointing to, you can bring back a Crusadia from your graveyard. It could be a monster or a spell or trap.
Wow, that's really strong. So it's pretty much just a Monster Reborn with steroids.
But to your hand, yes.
Oh, okay. So I thought it brings it to the field. So you get to get any card to your hand, so you could set up for plays for next turn.
Yep.
Wow, really good card.
Yep.
At 3, that definitely seems like a 3-0 for...
Well, you want to run 3 of most of these cards, so we got Crusadia Reclusia. Now, most people don't expect a lot from this card, but I really like him because you get to bring him out, defense mode, and then be like, okay, Reclusia, and one of your monsters leaves the field.
Just send?
Nah, unfortunately, it has to target and it destroys.
Okay, I was like, wow, this guy is really, really good if he just sends... So
That
he
would
just
make him
he just pops up a monster on the field.
Yep.
That's it? Wow, he's a really good card. So you get to have recursion, an OTK strategy so far, and destruction?
Yeah, but through this card that I'm going to show right now, you can actually save your Reclusia and have another monster in the field. Crusadia Arborea. Arborea, she's our tuner. I only run 2 of her because, well, I don't really need her that much. And, well, basically when she's on the field or in the graveyard, if one of my Crusaders were to be destroyed, whether it be my effect, your effect, or a battle, I can just banish her and save my monster.
Oh my, so she's got protection for the deck.
Yep.
And so is it when it's getting pointed at by a link monster?
No, it can be in the graveyard.
Oh my. Wow, this is a really, really good card. And you can recur it back with your Dracos, right?
Yeah, except when it's in the banish. That's the one thing that I haven't really found out for this deck. But at that point, your opponent's already dead.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. And she's a tuner, so she allows you to go into those awesome synchro plays.
Yep.
Wow, awesome
And
card.
then I'll be crucified for this, but I only run 1 Leonis.
Okay. I honestly don't know what Crusadia Leonis does, but why don't you get to explain it?
Basically, also when he gets special summoned, I can make one of my link monsters do piercing.
Okay, so he allows for those OTK strategies to still go through when people have defense position monsters.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I can see why you would run 1 of him. Does he do anything else besides that?
Special summon and defense, that's about it.
Oh, so he's just a free body on the board.
Uh-huh.
But since your deck already does a lot of special summoning, he's kind of weaker than some of the other cards that
yeah, that's why I only run 1, but I still need the Crusadia name in there. So
it makes sense.
this is now we run World Legacy World Dance. This is your protection for link monsters. When a link monster gets attacked, I get to discard this card, and my opponent's monster loses 3,000 attack.
Oh, so it's a hand trap that hits the attack.
Yep, and that's why we run 3 of it.
Oh god. So if the Boral attacks, you hit him and then he's...
If Boral Sword,
toast.
yeah, he don't get his attack boost. He loses it, actually.
Oh man, that's really strong actually. Okay. I like this card. I've never played with any of the World Legacy cards or any of the Crusadia cards, but that sounds really cool that they have their own hand traps built in.
Yep, and also for our honorary Crusadia, World Legacy World Crown. It basically does the same thing as Crusadia, special summon in defense mode, but if this card were to be normal summoned, and your opponent activates a monster effect from an extra monster,
An extra monster?
Yes.
Okay.
I get to tribute this off, negate and destroy your monster.
Oh, so this is a negate.
Yeah.
For any extra deck monster, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is actually really good because you could just set this up on the board, and then your opponent has a hard time getting over your big monsters that you've already summoned.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. I really like how this deck is looking. This looks really cool.
All right, now I'm gonna run one Mekk Knight Purple Nightfall. He is my Mekk Knight Searcher. One Mekk Knight Indigo Eclipse. He allows for the OTKs because I get to move him around, or any Mekk Knight actually on the field, to any monster zone I want to.
Okay, and so what does moving them around get you? Like for the Link monster zones that they're pointing to?
Yeah, for Equimax, he gains attack based on where monster he's pointing to.
Okay, so if you had Purple Nightfall on the board and you use Indigo Eclipse to move Purple Nightfall onto Equimax, you would have a big monster.
I would have a big monster. Yes, I would.
That's actually really awesome.
Yep.
All right.
And now I run one Mekk Knight Red Moon. This is also to pop a monster on the field by banishing one Mekk Knight.
So Mekk Knight Red Moon, he just pops a monster on the field. That's it.
Yep.
Does he special summon himself?
All Mekk Knights special summon themselves.
Wow.
You just gotta have two cards on the same column.
That's really strong.
Whether it be your opponent's side or my side, if there's two, summon.
Okay, well, this deck has a lot of removal.
It does. Now I run one Green Horizon and one Orange Sunset, only to have the special summon ability. I don't really use their effects.
Okay.
So they're just really there so I can special summon another monster on the field.
So you can go into those link plays.
Yep.
Would you consider running Blue Sky if you had it?
If I had Blue Sky, I would definitely run a Blue Sky or another Purple Nightfall.
Okay, so I mean, from Jerry, if you do happen to have Blue Sky and you want to play this deck, I'd definitely run Blue Sky in here.
Instead of Orange Sunset.
Okay. I really like these cards. I think they look cool. I think that their effects are really good. Definitely help this deck, especially those link plays and making Equimax do that OTK.
Yep. And now for our honorary Mekk Knight monster, Iron Dragon Tiamaton. So what this guy does is that instead of two, if there's three cards in the same column, I can special summon him, and every single card in that column gets destroyed, and then nobody can use it.
Wow, so if your opponent has their extra monster zone already set up with another card in that column, you get to pop everything in that column?
Everything in the column, monster, spell, whatever. The only downside, I can't use that column either, but by that point I already have my monster on the field.
Wow, that's really good.
Alright, so here's some spicy tech. Since there are a lot of different types in this deck, I run one Arch Nemesis Eschatos.
So what does this guy do?
Banish 3 monsters from the graveyard with different types, which I have a lot of, and I get to choose one type, and my opponent destroys all monsters on his side of the field that are of that type, and during his turn he cannot special summon or summon at all any of that type.
So if you're playing against Lightsworn, you could say light, and
No.
your opponent...
Type, not attribute.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm playing against Orcust, and I say machine, I kill them basically.
Wow. So if you're playing against Orcus, you say machine. When you summon this guy to the board, Orcus doesn't play, and you just win the game pretty much.
Because Orcust only uses machines.
So this is just another win condition in the deck.
Yes.
Just in case you can't get that win condition off with your links.
Yep.
Awesome. That's a really cool card. I like that addition.
Also, to remove monsters on my opponent's side of the field and make my monster stronger, I run Gameciel and the Thunder King. Now, one of the reasons why I don't run two Gameciels is so that I can get the extra monster for Eschatos, because, you know, need more types. And also because if I have both in my hand, I can just Gameciel him and summon my Thunder King, and I have a bigger monster.
So let me ask you something. With the Kaijus, do you have to run these two, or can you swap them out for any Kaijus?
You can swap them out for any Kaiju. I just have these ones on hand.
Awesome.
And, preferably I would use a higher attack Kaiju.
So Dogaran?
Dogaran is a really good Kaiju because my Equimax, he has a arrow pointing towards the opponent, so I can just special summon that Kaiju to where Equimax is pointing, and he gains 3,000 attack.
Wow, that's really strong. So that's cool that that Equimax gets the attack bonus from the Kaijus. And not only that, a Kaiju just got reprinted in the Sacred Beast structure deck. So, I mean, there's a Kaiju that people can get pretty easily. It's the Raiden.
Yeah, just spend $10 on a structure deck, and you get a free Kaiju.
And you get a free kaiju and you get a structure deck that you can start putting together.
Yep, Sacred Beast. Buy it now.
They're pretty fun.
All right, next up we got Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. She is basically a monster reborn for Link monsters. The only gimmicks is that it has to be pointing to her, and their effects are negated.
Okay.
Another thing with her is that when she gets into the graveyard, I can actually special summon this to my opponent's side of the field, and they can only summon Link monsters.
Oh my gosh. So if your opponent's not playing a linking deck, this card pretty much ruins them. Can they use this as... They can't use this as material for anything for another monster because they wouldn't be able to initiate the summon, right?
Just a tribute summon or a link.
Oh boy. So she definitely can lock the opponent down. This deck has a lot of elements to it. A lot of OT... It can OTK. Yeah. It can control the board. Wow. I'm really impressed with this list, Jerry.
Yeah. It only dies to Ash and Joel, but hey.
So if it does to Ash and Joel, would you consider running Call by the Grave in here?
If I were to try to make it competitive, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Call by the Grave or DD Crow.
Definitely.
Now I run one Dino Wrestler Pankutops just to pop a monster on the field. And now we head on to our spells and traps. I run one World Legacy Secession, which is a monster reborn to a point a Link monster points to.
Oh wow, this card looks awesome. I really like the artwork.
Yeah, look, you know that painting that I think it was Michelangelo did, where he's pointing to God?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like that to me.
Oh yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
And here's our Monster Reborn, because sometimes you just need generic.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to get that Link monster back from the graveyard, or that... Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Now, Crusadia Testament is a protection for my Link monsters. It's a quick effect, so I can do it during my turn or just set it up, and you can't negate my Crusadia Link monster effects with it.
So this is a field spell that protects everything, or
quick play?
Oh, it's a quick play spell. Wow. So this is searchable too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. Now I run two different field spells because this one it allows OTKs and gives a 500 boost to my Crusadias. And this one, it allows me to go through my cards because by discarding a World Legacy or a Mekk Knight, I get to draw one more card.
So this one cycles.
Yes.
I really like cards like this. This is my type of play style, so I definitely would prefer something like this. And this one sets up for OTKs.
Yep, because with that card, I can choose one Crusadia Link monster on my field, and it can attack all of my opponent's monsters in the same turn.
So we got World Legacy Scars and Crusadia Revival. Definitely two really cool looking cards.
All right, now to the traps. One Crusadia Crawler. This is the card that I will search for when I search for a spell or trap that's a Crusadia 100% of the time. Because when it gets activated, I get to special summon because it turns into a monster. And when it gets special summoned to a point a Link monster is pointing to, I get to search a World Legacy card.
Oh, so this is on your opponent's turn. You're going to start doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to search on your opponent's turn, as well as summon a Crusadia monster. So if you have Equamax on the field, you can pop this guy onto Equamax's point, and then Equamax gets the attack boost, and he still has a monster. That's really strong.
Yeah.
Definitely a strong combo right
It only has 200 attack, but you know 200 can make a difference.
Yeah, it can.
Next up, one World Legacy Landmark. I can banish one World Legacy card from my hand or the field, and I can special summon two monsters from my graveyard.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this one is just like a Monster Reborn.
It's Monster Reborn trap, yeah.
For your opponent's turn. If you're in a pickle, you just activate this and
bring back World Lance, yeah.
Awesome.
Crusadia Vanguard. I should probably run 3 of these, but I only like to run it at 1 because I can search it. Basically, with this card, when I activate it, I contribute off one of my Crusadia monsters. Usually it'll be Crawler. And I can special summon a World Legacy or a Crusadia with a different name.
Okay, so you tribute off the Crusadia Crawler that you searched on your opponent's... that you searched and set to your board. You activate it on your opponent's turn, and then you tribute off that Crawler and special summon something better.
World Lance, 3,000 attack.
And put it where Equamax is pointing. And then Equamax gains 3,000.
Yep.
On top of whatever else he's got pointing to him.
Yep.
Oh, God.
And then it also has a protection effect.
Oh, so this card also has protection effect.
Yeah. You can only target my Link monsters for attack.
That's really good because your monsters are going to be sometimes weaker, the ones that are not links. So having to attack the big guy is really good.
And then I run 3, there can only be 1. Because I run a lot of different types in my deck, so this allows me to protect myself against other decks. It's like another Eschatos, but in a trap form.
I really like the artwork of this card. It's got the little skeleton white family, and they're trying to go through like TSA.
Yeah.
You know TSA hassles everybody.
Everyone.
Including skeletons. You can see right through their clothing.
God dang it.
Alright.
Alright, on to the Link monsters. I run 2 Crusadia Magus. He is the first one you go into. With him, you can search for another Crusadia monster.
So what set did this guy come out in?
Cybernetic Horizons, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's definitely one of those cards that you need to use for this to work.
Yes, you definitely need Magus. You cannot run a Crusadia deck without him.
Okay, so he's your link one. You go into him at all times.
Every single time. First turn, Crusadia, Magus.
Okay, awesome. Awesome card.
Then, after Magus, with your search, you go into Regulex.
Okay.
With Regulex, you get to search for a Crusadia spell or trap from your deck.
Okay, so this guy searches out those Crusadia crawlers,
Yeah.
the Crusadia, and even if you drew the crawler in hand, you can search out one of those other Crusadia cards that...
Yeah, I'd probably search for Testament.
Okay, so this guy, definitely cool. So Magius comes to the board, gets another monster, and then you summon Regulex with Magius and Regulex?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's a really cool combo. I like that.
Typically, you have 2 Crusades in your hands, but at this point, you search for the spell and trap, you have a monster in the field, so you set that spell and trap, and you can summon a Mekk Knight, and then you get Equimax.
So this guy, you might think that this guy is, he is not. He is really hard to get off the board sometimes, and he does a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
Anyway, whenever a monster's if there's a monster that's pointing to where his link points to, he gains that attack, but that monster cannot attack. So, if I have Equimax here and Equimax here, this Equimax gains this Equimax attack, but this one can no longer attack.
Okay, so you generally, when you summon this guy, he's gonna be attacking for almost every time on the turn.
Every single time, he's going to be your OTK monster.
Awesome, and he has a quick effect too.
Yeah, he can negate by attributing off a Crusadia or a World Legacy monster that he's pointing to.
So you're telling me that this guy can OTK, he has protection, and he has a negate.
Yeah.
And he's a Link 3?
Link 3. Easy.
Okay. Good card.
Yep. And now for one more, Mekk Knight Crusadia Avermax.
Awesome.
I only go into this when Equimax is about to get destroyed or something. He basically is a better Equimax.
Do you have to play this guy?
No, not really, because Equimax will just kill everything for you. But it's nice to have in there for protection.
Okay. So, I mean, if you were going to substitute this guy out for something that was a little cheaper, what would you substitute out?
For something cheaper, I'd probably get a Borreload.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so definitely, if you have this card and you want to play this deck, Avermax is a king in here. But if you can't, Borreload is a good option.
Good substitution. You can get him in the Rocket Revolt structure deck.
Awesome.
And it's a common, so.
Yeah.
Next, I run one Leeb, the World Key Blade Master. I only go into this card when I need to search for my World Legacy spells or traps, because you can only summon her when there's a World Legacy monster in your graveyard. And then she searches your spell trap, set it, and if it's a spell, you can activate it this turn.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, so she's really good.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And then I'll just link her off into Equimax or something.
This card is awesome looking. I love her artwork. She looks really cool. So, wow, okay. She has 2,000 attack as well, so she's nothing to joke about for a 2-link.
Next, I run a whole Nightmare package. Griffin, Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what these Nightmare guys do.
Oh, yeah.
I've reprinted about 1,000 times, but except maybe the Griffin. I don't see that one get played a lot. So what does the Griffin do for this deck?
It basically allows me to stop my opponent from using effects because a lot of decks today use special summon a lot. Griffin, if you don't have a monster linked, you cannot activate its effect.
You can't activate any monster effects as long as you don't have a monster linked.
Yes. Only special summon monsters though.
So, wow. So if you were to put this guy on the board linked with your lead,
I could activate both of his effect. His effect would be going off, and any special summon monster my opponent has cannot activate its effect.
wow, that's really strong. Wow. Definitely a cool card in here. Gives you another option, especially with that Avermax being the 4-link. This guy's also a 4-link, so you have another option if you want to
Yep.
go into that.
And speaking of options, we have Borlo Dragon, the one we were just speaking about.
Okay, so you play this in here anyway?
Yeah, because sometimes your Equimax gets destroyed, and then you can't bring it back onto the field. Borlo will allow you to get monsters in order to summon back another monster.
Okay.
He's a big number and he takes control of others.
He's definitely a really good card.
Really good
especially for a common. I think anybody who is really serious about Yu-Gi-Oh! Should definitely pick up one of these guys. They're really, really good.
Next, I run one Boral Sword just for another OTK probability.
Another one of those cards that I think if you're kind of serious about playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! You should probably pick up one of these guys. They're pretty cheap with Borreload. I think this guy is around what?
He's like
$10,
$15.
$15. That's not bad considering Avermax is like a $30, $40 card. This guy is definitely a better substitute for an Avermax, and he does exactly what he needs to do.
Yep. And then this isn't a budget deck only because I have Borreload Savage Dragon.
Well, I would have said it's not really that budget when we hit Avermax, but you know. So how do you summon this guy out in here?
Maximus and Arborea. It's really a last resort. Like, you don't go into him that much, but if you do, it sucks to be your opponent.
So if you were going to substitute this guy out, what would you substitute him for?
I'd probably take out the whole Synchro set.
Okay.
And I just put in some other Link monster in there.
I remember previously playing you and you were using Draco.
Oh, Draco Berserker, the Tenny? Yeah. He doesn't do the same thing as Borreload, but he's like a budget form of Borreload because when your opponent activates a monster effect, I'll just banish it.
That's awesome. I love this card. I think this card is great. And if you have money, you know, you could drop it on him, but I feel like he might get a reprint. We don't know about that yet.
I hope he gets a reprint.
Definitely a really great card. Well, alrighty then.
Time to go into little combos.
Let's get into those combos. We'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys.
Wait, what?
Here we are back in the combo version of the video, and we've got a couple cards out right now. We got Crusadia Arborea and Maximus. We're gonna set up a combo right now, and we're gonna show you guys how it is done.
Alright, so basically you want to start off with any two Crusadias in your hand. That's always going to be the best thing for you. So for starters, I have a Maximus and Arborea in my hand. So we're going to normal summon out Maximus, and then we're going to use him for a link summon of Magius.
Nice. So Max didn't activate his effect.
Nope. His effect is special summon to a point a link monster points to. So his effect can go off
whenever,
if I bring him back. So special summon Arborea because all Crusadians have that effect to special summon in defense to a point a link monster points to.
So you summon the Magius and then you special summon the Arborea to where the Magius is pointing to, right?
Yes, and that allows me to get an effect from Magius to search for a Crusadia card.
So you always get that Crusadia crawler, right?
No, that's for a monster actually.
Ah.
So what I want to search for here is the Draco.
Okay, so I got the Crusadia Draco right here.
Cool. And from here, we are going to go up the ladder.
So you're going to link these two off.
To summon out a Crusadia Regulix.
So Regulix has the same effect where you special summon a Crusadia to a point, right?
That's the Crusadia monster.
Oh, wow, that's the monster's effect.
Yeah, link monsters don't do that.
That's really strong.
Yep. So you special summon out Draco, and that is where two effects go off. Regulix will search me a Crusadia spell or trap.
So this is where you get the crawler.
This is where I get the crawler, yes.
Unless you already have it in hand, then you can get another Crusadia spell or trap.
Yep, so you get either the field spell or the other trap card.
Awesome.
And then with Draco, I get to bring back one Crusadia from the graveyard. And I'm going to bring back Maximus because I didn't use his effect.
That's an awesome play right there.
Yep.
So you're really extending.
Oh, this is Extend City, dude. Next up, we're going to link up again
Awesome. Okay.
to Equimax.
So Equimax comes out and he doesn't have anything pointing to him. Or him.
Now he does.
Now he does. The Maximus comes out. So,
Yep.
so now he's at 3,600 attack.
Oh, yeah. And then, if it were my opponent's turn right now, I could activate Maximus' effect. And if he attacks a monster, he inflicts double damage.
Double the damage.
Double damage.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Okay.
And say, at this point, you end your turn. You set one card before you end your turn. It's going to be Crawler like 90% of the time.
So you set that Crusadia Crawler.
Yep.
And then when it's your opponent's turn, you're going to activate the Crusadia Crawler and search another Crusadia.
Yeah, but make sure you summon it here because effects only goes off if you summon it to a point a link monster is pointing to.
Awesome. So what would you search off the Crusadia Crawler?
I'd probably search off World Lands because it searches you any World Legacy card.
Okay.
So now I have a negate on the board, and if he somehow gets higher attack than Equimax, I can just discard World Lance, and his monster loses 3,000 attack.
Wow, so Equimax is really hard to remove off the board at this point.
Yeah, unless you have two Regekis in your hand, but who has that?
Legacy of the Duelist? Anyways, so when Equimax is on the board at this much attack, if you had the other trap card, you could activate it and they would have to attack Equimax?
They have to attack Equimax. They cannot attack any other monsters except for links.
Crusadia Vanguard, right?
Yes, but also if I activate that, I could actually tribute off my Crawler to summon World Lance from my deck.
And you would still have a World Lance in hand?
I could.
Oh my. So you could have protection in the hand, on the field, and in the gate, and you could still OTK?
Yeah.
This is really cool. I really like this. All right, well, I think that's going to be it for one of the combos for this section of the video, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any more combos you'd like to show off?
Not really. Mech Knights are just extenders. Literally just...
So if you go into the next turn and you manage to have anything survive,
yeah,
you can pretty much extend into like those Link 4s, maybe another Equal Max if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but also Mech Knights are your going second cards.
Yeah.
Because your opponent already has a field. They have spells, possibly spells and traps, monsters. You could just set a spell anywhere and special summon your Mech Knight.
And so this combo is doable with any Crusadia monster in hand.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Considering half of the deck is Crusadias, I'm pretty sure you could pull this combo off so easily.
It's really hard not to pull it off. You have to brick really, really bad.
Well, that was awesome. I'm glad you showed me this deck, and I'm glad we got to see all the plays that it can do and all the cool cards that are inside of it. I'm woke to Crusadias. I might have to build myself one.
No.
Why? What if I want to build a Crusadia deck?
Well then, just follow this deck profile. This will help you a lot. You can switch out cards, but this is the way.
This is the way.
This
Crusadia
is the way.
Mekk Knights. All right.
Crusadia Mekk Knights.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video today. We'll definitely have a video coming out tomorrow or the next day. That's me, Chris, signing out.
And this is me, Jerry. Like and subscribe, leave a comment.
Signing out. All right.